All right, for today's concept development, we are going to be looking at the pictures of these fractions below, and we are going to have to identify the shaded fraction for each of these visual models. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line to match up the equivalent fractions, or the fractions that are equal to each other. And we will be able to visually see how these fractions are equal to one another. So first, let's identify the fractions we see shaded. So this first one here, and let me get my pointer. The first fraction here, I see that there are two equal spaces. One is shaded, so that means this fraction is 1/2. That is shaded because one piece is shaded out of two in all to make the whole. This next fraction, I see 5 equal pieces and 4 are shaded, making it equal to 4/5. Our third picture, let's just wait for that to disappear. Our third picture has 6 equal pieces in all, so that would be my denominator down on the bottom, and 3 of them are shaded, so 3/6 are shaded. Our fourth one, I see one piece shaded, so that one shaded piece would be my numerator, and the 4 pieces in all would be my denominator, making it 1/4. Now this next fraction model that I see that there are 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces in all. So my denominator down on the bottom would be 8, and 2 are shaded, making my numerator 2, so 2/8. And this last one, I see I'm going to start with my numerator first, the numbers that's shaded. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are shaded, making the 8 my numerator on top. And there are 10 equal pieces in all, making 10 my denominator down on the bottom. So 8/10. Now what I need to do is I need to draw a line that shows equivalent fractions. So I noticed that this first fraction here that shows 1/2, half of that rectangle is shaded. Now I also noticed that the one over here that's 3/6, 3 out of the 6 are shaded. And I know that 3 is half of 6. And if I were to take and unshade this one and move it up to the top and shade it here, this one whole side would be shaded and it would look exactly like that 1/2. So 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2. The next one that I notice here is that 1/4 and 2/8. I noticed that 2 of the eighths, if I were to take this middle line out, 2 of the eighths together would equal a fourth. And I have 2/8 shaded. So if I were to unshade this top one and shade it down here, what the amount that's shaded in all compared to how much is left blank would look exactly like the 1/4. So 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8, which leaves me now with 4/5 and 8/10. And I also see that that's the same amount. There are 2 white squares on the 2 of my tenths here that are not shaded. And if I were to take and flip flop these two to have one full bar shaded left blank across, that looks exactly like the 4/5. And I also see that if I were to double 4, I'd get 8. Double 5, I'd get 10. So I can see that 4/5 is equivalent to 8/10. Now on this next slide, I need to write the missing part of the fraction below to show what is equivalent to 1/4. This picture right here represents my 1/4 because one piece is shaded out of 4 in all. So on this other fraction, I need to write what is represented here. Visually, this amount is equal to 1/4. I just need to figure out what this fraction is. So I see 1, 2 pieces are shaded out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in all.